Bear Ball in here. Just wanted to make my own Warships video. I love Warships, and if you're like me, I can't get enough content, so I figured I would create my own a little bit and just show a little bit of a different side of things. I am in Legendary right now. There's only a few people in there, so just wanted to show you guys what to look forward to, what 5-engine room is looking like. Right now I'm number 15, subject to change. And then only 48 people in Legendary right now, so I've got a little bit different perspective, show you guys what it's like here. 5th in the US. Then I didn't realize when I recorded this I had 666 battles, quite the omen there, but we're gonna roll with it anyway. Doing pretty well percentage-wise, but you see all the battles I have. I play a lot at the beginning to try and rank up, and then I play a lot to get in certain ranks. So getting in Diamond, you want to reach that as fast as possible. Then you coast a little bit, then when you get close to Legendary you play a lot, and then so forth. Starting off tech tree, I had Warriors and Riflemen, rocked those all through 3-engine rooms. They did pretty well. Then I went the top route through Sparky, Shock Mines, Building Damage. Didn't go back for the boom cannons and rocket choppers for a while, until like almost through 4-engine room, but I had to have the boom cannons, the one-hit wonders. Going into here, still working on troop health. I'm actually behind on that, but with the Rifleman it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And then working on rocket launchers right now, then hopefully barrage. I'm gonna skip seekers. I don't like them. They're not really my thing. I'm not a rush type person. I like to take my time, let the attack flow and build. So just the seeker rushes, the heavy chopper rushes is not really my thing. I want bullet, but he's just sort of out of the way for me right now. So hop into a few battles, show you guys what it's looking like. Got a really quick battle. The queue times have been really good actually. The last few seasons. The longest I've had to wait this season is like 8 minutes, and most of the time it's within a minute. Every now and then it's 3 or 4, but it's really quick. So they've got the clump sort of like me on the right side, and they've got 2 in the back, but there's not that many defenses back there, and only a few that can take out the rockets. So even though I only have them at level 3, if it looks like this, I like to send them up to the top. As you'll see though, you have to be pretty careful, because I do end up losing one. So I don't have to use a smoke there, I don't think. They'll fly right by, which is nice. Let them work their way up. And I only have 11-second flares, which you can see is really helpful, because I don't have to wait so long to deploy my other troops. I can just start right ahead, and that saves me, that extra 9 seconds of time to work on things. I did forget, I was worried about dropping my other troops here. I missed a shock here, and I do lose a rocket chopper, which is really bad, just because they're so valuable, and if you only have one and only level 3, it's only going to hit so much. So I'm just going to let it do its thing up there now, but I had to waste a shock and extra artillery on that boom cannon, so I've got not much GBE for this giant clump. And then the microwave is going to take at least 2 to take out. I got to take out all the defenses in front of it. Well, it doesn't take out my Rifleman, then I got to take it out. So that's 2 shocks. So that took a lot of my GBE, again, using the other one for that rocket chopper over there. Don't really have any Riflemen left, still not looking good, but I'm just going to keep things going. Try and build up more shocks. I only need a couple more, but this attack really fell apart when I lost that rocket chopper, honestly. I lost a good 32 GBE. That would have saved me 1 less shock, and then lost all my troops down here because I was more focused up there, so hurt quite a bit. So it works well when I can get it right, but that's one way to do the split. There's other ways too, but that tends to be a little bit faster than the 218 I posted. And he gets me here just barely. So that would have won that one if I'd done that a little bit better. But we all make mistakes. You get to see some of those too. There's a lot going on in these battles, trying to manage split drops and things. Go into another one. before this I was winning, so I just wanted to show you that. It seems like it's been going in streaks. I win a bunch, then I lose a bunch. It hasn't been that win one, lose one as much as it was when I was lower. This is a really typical base you'll see in 5 engine room. Come across it a lot. There's different variations. Some are easier to take out than others. Because they've got this single troop on the right that's going to pull all my troops, I like to just do a smaller drop at first, let them take that out, and then I drop the rest of the troops. I'm looking at the mines, seeing if I'm going to have to clear them or not. My riflemen do a good job. Now I can drop the rest now that that's gone and, fan out my diddles how I want them. And then over here, I'm looking, I like to sometimes critter one of those if I take out some defenses, but they've just got too many machine guns supporting it, so I'm just going to barrage and artillery. My barrage was only level 3 at this point, so I think it takes 2 barrage and then 7 artillery to take that out, which is a lot of GBE, but these bases work pretty well with the rifleman bombardier to not really have to use a lot of GBE with Sparky too. So I can just sort of let them do their thing, take it out, then clear out a couple of these machine guns and mines, and then as soon as that's done, I can flare and finish this up. Keep things shocked. So that's a pretty good time on these bases. Like I said, some are harder. You're going to finish them slower, but that works pretty well for this one. 251 is going to be hard to beat unless they use Seekers, which this guy is. He doesn't look to be doing very well with them, though, but he is using Seekers. Going to take out that one, but I don't think they're going to do the other side. Nope. So that's a win. I'll take it. There's no need really to push up. I mean, as in Legendary, once you're there, you just sort of coast, because all you're going to do is you push up higher as you lose more stars when you lose, and you gain less when you win, since everyone's going to be below you. So there's not really a point to really pushing up yet. I'm going to save that for the end of the season. Just did, that gave me enough to get my rocket launchers, and then I timed it so I'd get the damage amp too, so I can pair those, and I've got this idea where I'm just going to move my rocket launchers to the middle, and make it be able to attack both sides of the base. Just working on the spread out here. I wish they had a little more coverage on the left side of my base, but having them all in the damage amp I think will force people to either spend some shocks there or really have to work on them. The level 4 rocket launchers don't really do much, and there's only 3, so there's not a big difference with that big upgrade, but if you can, go right to the max rocket launchers, they do pack a punch, especially with the damage amp. And that's what I'm hoping, at least, is that this is going to be pretty good. I could put the damage amp more to the right in my cluster on the like the right side of my first engine where the flamethrowers and machine guns are, but I don't think it's going to do as much there. People tend to keep that area shocked anyway. And then once people get bullet, it's just going to taunt everything, and it's going to basically negate the damage amp because they're all going to just focus on bullets. So I'm hoping having it here along with the cluster to the right is going to make people have to use GB on the rocket launchers instead of the cluster, and their attacks fail because of it. That's the hope, at least. I don't know how it'll go. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was the first attack against the rocket launchers having max and the damage amp, and he's going to split drop heavies, bombardiers to the left, but he doesn't quite get the split like he wants, and then he's doing the rest to the right. The 3 heavies, 3 bombardiers to the right for the compact is pretty standard, and then he only ended up with 2 bombardiers on the left, which isn't going to be very good for him. And he had to focus a lot of energy, shocking the shock launcher now, and then focusing on the rocket launchers. So he's only got the bombardiers left, and he's still got the BAP-2 rocket launchers damaged to deal with, which is going to slowly whittle him down. the way they are in the middle, if you focus on the right, all those troops are going to funnel to the right compact. They're not going to go for those back 2 rocket launchers. And if you split drop on the left after you take out the sniper towers, they just go to the rocket launchers. So you still got to deal with them the entire time. You can't just drop, fly by on the left and hope it works. At least with troops. It works better with seekers, trying to get by that. Going against JB King, another one of these bases. This is definitely the one I see the most. Again, he's got a lot of good coverage on the back engine rooms. What I'm doing right now is I'm considering using critters to try and take out one of them. And it's what I end up doing, but it wasn't the best decision because there's 3 of them back there. So even taking out one, I have to make it through the whole base anyway. So, doing the critters to take out one, or even barraging an artillery one, I don't think makes too much of a difference with this base, having the 3 in the back. It's definitely a little better having the 3 engine rooms in the back compared to that other one you saw. And he's got his defenses laid out in front pretty nicely, so I can just do the 5 bombardiers right away, because they're going to all funnel really well and spread out, which is what you want. You want them attacking all the defenses at one time. So I'm looking at this. I'm going to try and take those out to do some critters on the middle engine room. Not really sure why I chose the middle. I mean, I just made it harder because I still have to travel all the way to the left corner, all the way to the right corner, but you only get a minute to scout, so sometimes you don't make the best decisions. So gonna critter a bit, got 3 of them, shock that. But unfortunately, a lot of them attack the cannon instead, so they're not doing as much damage on the engine room early on as I wanted. Have to waste another shock on that to try and let them do more. And again, the riflemen bombardiers, they just travel up the base. You don't have to really do much. Maybe clear mines, but with a Sparky, but there's not a lot of focus you have to pay there, so you can just work on the back engine rooms. Seems like these bases are meant to be against seekers. I'm not really sure. I don't use seekers, so I don't know how that works, but that seems like what the goal is to try and make it really tough for seekers to have to take you out. Do some early flares, save a couple seconds if you can get them already targeting the next building while the other one's still up, instead of waiting for it to take down, then flare. You save at least 3 seconds in engine room probably doing that, which these seconds are valuable in these attacks. So I think I was at 233, 234, so a little slower, but again, he's going a little slower right now too. So I end up winning this one. I'll show you guys what he did at the start here in a sec, once my connection was back. The rocket choppers, it's definitely, with this type of a base layout, or the 3-2 split, you want to go up the left side, most likely. You can go up the right, it's just a lot tougher. You have to use all your GBE and shocks in the beginning, which is fine, but you can also go up the left and amass a little bit more GBE by taking out the engine rooms when it's easier, so you can save and have enough for all those shocks you need at the end. 210, pretty standard time for rocket choppers. Sometimes they're a little faster, but 210 to 225, 230 maybe is what they're putting up on this base. And just looking at the beginning, he's going to drop on the left side, take out the sniper tower, and then go to the left. And Sparky ended up being a really good hero to use with this attack, because the rocket launchers are all going to focus on the critters. So his, I get some shots on the rocket choppers, but by the time they're all within range, the critters are going to be, taking a lot of that brunt. So that was a good choice by him to use Sparky with this attack. You see how they're all just focusing on the critters, and it still takes a bit to take them out. He just drops them so fast, it's hard to keep up. And they start firing on the rocket choppers a little bit here, but still mostly on the other stuff. And the good thing is they have to still kill every rocket launcher, because you pass them up, then they're going to be attacking you, and and taking them out from behind. So you still have to waste another 15-20 seconds taking out all those rocket launchers. So purpose still served, I guess, even if they're not taking out the choppers themselves. Hop into another one, show you guys another different base. So this is the 6 engine room layout. You guys can take a screenshot or whatever you want. You can see the deck on the top is a little bit bigger, but that's really the only change. So he really doesn't have a good layout for the 6 engine room, especially with the rifleman bombardier attack. It's just really easy. And you can see I've got that boom cannon highlighted on the right. He just, I'm looking for critter use here, just seeing if I need to BART stuff out. But he's only got the one boom cannon on the right. The mortars will touch the bombardier sometimes, but generally they don't. So I'm going to drop 2 on the right. I think do some critters for distraction on the mortars, get this side going, and then I'll come back. And I'm going to art out the boom cannon because that's the only thing that can touch them. And then I'm just going to let them go to work on the right. And clear out some of these mines. That looks good on the right. You know, boom cannon's gone, mortar's gone, so they're just going to take their time and do their thing. I don't need to flare over here anyway because he has everything in a row, so don't have to worry about that. Delay, drop a rifleman. And then going to take out this machine gun. The microwave's out of range, the shock launcher's out of range, and he's just got the 2 cannons, so going to critter the back while these guys take out the front. So I think I end up shocking that just in case so they don't take out the front critters. But gonna let them go to work. That's pretty much done. Now I can flare this next to last engine room. Now that that other one's gone. And then while my bombardiers take that out, I can let the critters and art finish the other one. So that's what you're aiming for, is for them to finish the engine rooms pretty quickly. You don't want to have that delay where you're still waiting on the last one when you do that. You try and save time by taking them both out pretty much at the same time. What does he do? He has 6 engine rooms, so he probably has more GBE than I do. So he uses all of it to take out an engine room. He's got enough still for smokes. He's taken out shock mines. He's got critters, shocks. I mean, he's got a ton of GBE, but he really shouldn't have taken it to take out that engine room because he wasted so much. It just wasn't good use. And then with the 4-4 drop, it's not the best either because you've only got so many defenses on the left, but there's a ton more on the right. So he's going to fail on the right and still have quite a bit left on the left. If he had done 5-3, 5 on the right, 2 on the left instead of 4, he probably would have gotten me, but he just had to use so much GBE and it just wasn't the best split drop. So I beat Seekers, yay. They're tough, even in 5 engine rooms. And I've got a pretty good layout, but now after making this video, you know, there's been quite a few Seeker attacks that have beaten my base with the better splits, and especially having bullet. I mean, that makes it really easy to take out my base with Seekers. Just one more attack here. This next base coming up is pretty different. I haven't seen it yet. Sort of had to think about it a little bit, but made a couple mistakes, but it ended up working out still. So you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the only base I've seen like this where it's really front loaded, and I just hadn't really seen that. So because they've got so many flamethrowers lining up the front, I really can't. You know, you like to spread out the bombardiers so they're taking out the whole base, but my riflemen would all be smoked within, you know, the first line of defense. So I can't, you know, drop those like I want. So I end up picking a side. I think I come up this left side. But pretty interesting. I was thinking what I would do is try and use critters to take out those back 2 engine rooms and just let my troops focus on the front. You know, try and save a lot of time there. I'll show you what I mean. So I end up using an extra boat of riflemen as well, just to try and fight through all this, because they're gonna take out my bombardiers pretty quickly. And I just focus on this left side, take out some mines, use a little distraction while they're taking out some of the flamethrowers, save some riflemen, and then once I get through this front line, I start dropping more riflemen. And then again, it's just, delay drop, keep the riflemen flowing, keep them in front of the bombardiers. And now that all my troops are out, I can focus on this. So I take out the flamethrower, the one thing that could kill critters. And then I take out the shock launcher, or at least I tried to. I figured my troops were close enough to pull the rocket launchers all up front, but I didn't, and I'm not going to waste a second shock on the other side of them, so I just let that fail, honestly. Bad idea, didn't work, wasted GBE. But because my front troops are doing so well, I can just, recover and just keep using shocks on the rocket launchers while they take out everything. Lost a little bit of time in GBE on the critter idea, but because it was so compact, I really didn't lose a lot of time in general. I can just continue to flare and finish. Early flares again, save a few seconds. Final flare, save a few seconds, and then art it out. Still took a bit to get through. 2:33 isn't the best time. Generally, you want to be posting in the 2:40s or even 2:50s, especially on a base like that, I would think. But it's not a bad time either. And he's gonna retreat. Not sure what all the medics were there for. I guess my rocket launchers made him bring all the medics. I don't know. But that's a lot of troops he's missing out on because of that. See what he did? I don't remember. Looks like all bombardiers and medics, nothing else. So he's trying to combat my rocket launchers, and then he still doesn't even drop the other two boats. He just lets it ride. It's just a really slow attack trying to go through it like that. I guess he was hoping I would fail on his base with Seekers or something. But Rifleman Bombardier still works until you get to Engine Room 6 and Heavy Choppers, I'm guessing. But yep, thanks for watching. Just wanted to show you guys that and how the rocket launchers are doing, if it's a good idea to max them. I'm going to do my 6 engine room next, get GBE, max my barrage. That's coming up. And then I'll probably make another video once I get to the 6th engine room to show you guys my ideas for that. I've got a pretty good idea of how I want my layout to be, sort of back to a homage of Season 6. But thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.